Oh, wow, they just showed me the most heartbreaking scene. And I think the end message was dare. Dare to dream big. Dare. Dare yourself to dream bigger, to want more, to want better for yourself. You know, we see examples all the time of the opposite, of settling, of accepting, of allowing the less than, tolerating, normalizing, because it's too hard to fight that battle. We'll just accept this. This is fine. No, this is good. No, this is good. This is good, right? We convince ourselves. But it's not our truest heart's desire. But we've convinced ourselves we're not worthy or it's not possible. So basically, we don't believe. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in God. We don't believe in unconditional love. We just accept. That means they don't believe. They don't even have, and that's even religious people, right? Like, it's just talk. It's just talk, right? You have to do the work. You have to go within. You have to be honest. You have to uncover all those ugly, ugly lies we've told ourselves and get real honest. Take a real good look in the mirror. And they showed me a scene of a lot of people doing this it was really heart-wrenching, because it was people who actually did dare to dream or were excited, who were happy and fell in love, but then got their heart broken. And so they settled. Because that's often, I think, what we do, and for varying reasons. It's like we get our heart broken, and instead of using that to heal ourselves, right, that pain as rocket fuel, we jump to the next best thing. We accept or tolerate the less than. We convince ourselves, no, this was better for me. That happened because this is better for me. This is what I want. This is the way it needs to be. All while crying deep inside, because you're lying to yourself, you're covering yourself up, you're no longer being true or authentic. You're no longer able to hold truth and authenticity. You can't hold unconditional love within you because you're lying to you. You're not loving you. You're not holding unconditional love for yourself. You're not accepting you. You're not loving you. You're not accepting your dreams. You're not growing them. You're saying, no, this is fine. This is the way it is. This is best. Everybody else is unreasonable. They're living in a fantasy land. They're ridiculous. That's just delusional. That's unattainable, unacceptable. And then they get angrier and angrier when they see that you're achieving your dreams. How dare you? How dare you dream? How ballsy of you to think you're good enough, to think you're worthy when the rest of us are not. So neither are you, right? It's that bitterness that seeps in, or all types of things, right? But we have to unravel our own knots, lies, ties, confusion, and delusion. Break them all open and be able to see those lies, face those fears, face those demons in the mirror. Battle them, swallow them, integrate them, accept them, whatever you want to say. And keep your heart open, knowing that you are worthy, you are good, you are whole, especially after you've done all that shit, right? Once you've swallowed all that, it's painful. It's tough, right? Oof. But it's worth it to get to the other side. It's not an easy feat. And we see lots of examples of those who don't even go into the battle and don't even understand the words coming out of my mouth. And that's all okay. That's all okay. That's all for us to see and choose for ourselves. Do you want this life or this life? You want to accept this or you want to accept this? Are you going to choose you or are you going to choose outside of you? Which is it? And you know what? It's like I was going to say there is no right or wrong, but there is a right or wrong. There is. The right thing is always aligning with oneself, one's highest self, your heart's truest desires, and reaching for unconditional love, the highest and greatest vibration of all, your highest and greatest timeline this lifetime. That is the right thing, because that's the thing that's going to actually satiate you and fuel you to continue exploring and discovering and opening up your heart even more. That is what's going to fuel you, unconditional love. God, Source, Allah, the universe, whatever word you use. But that's my belief. That's my experience. And so you have to want the right way, right? Which is you, loving you, opening you up. Otherwise, you stay stuck, you stay stagnant. It's the idea of you've heard me say many times you have to do your own work, because you do. Because these are just words that fall flat until you actually do the work and you start to hear it more and more and more and more. And it's the idea of I could reach down and just lift you right up, but then you won't understand it. You won't have gone through it. You won't have learned those lessons. So then it's worthless and useless to you, because you're going to slide right back down to the bottom in about 10 seconds. And so then you're always going to be reaching your hand out. You're always going to be that beggar, because you're not learning the lessons. You're not opening your eyes and unclogging your ears. You're always going to be down there. This is why it's the idea of, people will say, I heard somebody saying the other day how if you needed the help, they wouldn't have given you the help. But because you didn't need the help, you got the help. That's how the universe works. And it's true in that sense, where it's when you know you're worthy, then you're worthy and you get it all. And until then, you don't, which can seem cruel or mean. And it's not, and it's not meant to be. But until you understand that and do that work, you can't hear that and you don't understand it. And so you remain bitter and malicious and angry and upset. And then you continue to live in those vibrations. So it's actually the kindest thing to do, to force us to love ourselves, to know that we're worthy. And that means you have to go in and actually do that work. Because I don't believe and again, this is from my experience, right? Everybody's going to experience it differently. From what I experienced, it took a lot of hard looks and hard truths about myself and my own shortcomings, my own narcissism, my own inability to love myself, my own settling, my own accepting, my own, all this stuff that we're doing, that we're not honoring ourselves, loving ourselves, so we're not putting that out. It's all this unearthing you have to do, and it is no joke. It's no joke to be oh my God. Because I don't think a lot of us realize we're doing it. We're unconscious, we're blind, we're deaf, we're dumb. Right? We're not, so when you see it, you're holy shit, I was doing that to get. What kind of monster am I? And so you didn't realize you were doing it to get. You weren't consciously doing it. But now you see it, so now you are conscious. So now can you move forward consciously without looking to get? Can you give that to yourself? Can you fill yourself up? Right? These are no joke battles, because most people are no, put me back to sleep. I can't. They'll try to do it, but then they just go back to sleep because they're I can't do it. It's too hard. No. Right? And so we see that all over the place. And they'll convince themselves and reason with themselves and rationalize themselves as to why they're making the better choice, the sane choice, the reasonable choice, right? It's, it's to me, that's more delusional than the minute few that are called delusional, right? The ones that dare to dream and then actually achieve it. They're showing Walt Disney. Yeah, I guess all of the movies I'm familiar with from when I grew up watching, that was he taught all of this. that dare to dream. Maybe that's where I heard. They said that in my ear when oh, right. Yeah. Well, they said that in my ear, and then they had shown me all these like heartbreaking stories and scenes of all these people who really did dare to dream. They really did jump into love and got their heart broken and smashed, and then they just settled. They didn't do the work to clean themselves back up, to piece all those pieces back together, to understand what occurred, to learn all those lessons, because it's fucking hard to it's like taking a mirror and all those shards, those millions of shards that are now dust, and get them back into a mirror. Guess what? It does take the grace of God. It does take a miracle. It takes your desire, your heart, your wanting, your belief in yourself and in unconditional love to make it happen. And that's going to take some time, right? Because you didn't believe a second ago. So, it's not going to be like, oh, okay, and yet once you do that cleanup work, once you do start loving yourself, once you learn those lessons, prove to yourself that you have learned those lessons, continue to move forward, then all of a sudden it is actually that quick. Yet, again, it's like these are just words. They're just words. Until it hits you, it doesn't hit you. Until you can hear, you can't hear. So it's I guess the idea of the words and all the art out there, all the art that I'm doing and all the art that millions of people are doing who have done that kind of work are screaming and shouting at us, is encouragement. It's the hope. It's that it does exist, that you are worthy. You are worth it. And you're going to fight for you, right? You're going to fight to get back to you. You're going to go through that struggle because you are worth it. You are worth it. You're not going to abandon you. You're not going to leave you. You are worth it. You're worth that fuss and fight. You're worth that struggle. You're worth all that hell that you're going to walk through to get back to you, to your center, to your alignment, to your worthiness, to your connection, to unconditional love. So yes, it's hell. It's hell. And again, that's for me, but that is what I experienced. So from my point of view, I would tell you, don't let anybody lie to you and say it's easy peasy, because that means they've never been through it. But maybe they didn't have to. They might never have left their center. They might have always known they were worthy and stayed in alignment. And so they didn't have to crawl through hell because they didn't leave. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else is experiencing, but it matters what you're experiencing. It matters what you're telling yourself. It matters what you believe you're worthy of. And you have to know it at your core. You can't say it and be delusional and like they're showing, like some men and women are, forgive all this, but the way they're showing it's like they're whores, right? They'll sell themselves out for money. But they don't know themselves. They don't know the other, right? It ends up being they're selling their soul. They don't realize it. And so it's like it can be so such an illusion out there, right? And confusing. But you have to be willing to sort through that confusion and delusion, because it's the confusion and delusion within that is causing it to be confusion and delusion. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.